Hey, you guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your favorite mental health and wealth coach, LaBrittney, and today we're going to talk about 7 signs and symptoms you could be having a depressive episode. Most depression sufferers try many different approaches before they finally are able to end their depression for once and for all. It's not uncommon for a person to spend thousands of dollars on different therapists or medicine, or even try different routes such as holistic measures to actually overcome their depression. Rather than focusing on the broad ways we can overcome it today, I want to bring awareness to 7 signs and symptoms that you could actually be slipping back into a depressive episode. You can also use these signs and symptoms to watch your family and friends to be more supportive for them during their dark nights. Sign number one is when you're turning down normal activities. When you suffer from low mood, aka depression, you can find that you begin to lose interest in things that normally excite you. For me, even though I am an introvert, I just prefer a select group of people. And when I was going through my depression really bad, my circle went from like five, three to none, just like that. So pay attention to when you notice you're counseling a lot of things, when you notice that someone who usually does something is now getting out of the habit of that. Gently approach them and let them know that you're there. See what's up. There's nothing wrong with the check in. Sign number two is feeling more exhausted than normal. So, about a week or two ago, I noticed that even though I had relaunched my brand and I was coming through on social media, I just for some reason, or actually, I read something and it really took my spirits away. And it took me a little second to bounce back from that. And one way that I noticed that I was slipping into a depression, the fact that I went from getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning to sleeping into 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I had very little energy to do the basic chores around the house. My kids were beginning to frustrate me more. I just wasn't on top of my game like I normally was. So, having little to no energy is a sign of low mood. Sign number three are emotional outbursts. So, as I said, you can get agitated, and when you get agitated, sometimes you have an emotional outburst. You are easily irritable or angry with yourself or others for no reason at all. So, a sign for a mother who could be slipping into depression is when your kid turns over their cup of juice. I mean, it's gonna happen, we know it, but for some reason, knocking over that juice that day sent you into a flying rage. You're ready to burn the whole house down just to clean the juice up. So, sign number four is you have good days and bad days. You have good days and bad days, but you still can be suffering from depression. That's why it's called low mood. Even though some days you feel okay, it's like, okay, the weight of the world is not crushing me, but you're still not back to a positive, grateful mood. So, when you have some good days followed by some bad days, when those bad days start to outweigh your good days, and when those good days are more like dull days or decent days, it's okay to take a step back and, like, hey, let me run through my checklist and see, am I on top of my game? Could I be falling into a depressive episode? Let me know. Step number five, well, symptom number five could be excessive eating and sleeping. So, after you notice that emotional outburst and that feeling extra exhausted, you also could notice that, okay, we're sleeping a lot, and when I'm woke, I'm doing all this eating. As a self proclaimed fat girl and emotional eater, when you start to devour food that you don't need to, when you feel yourself eating when you're full, or the fact that you know that this cheesecake is gonna really lift your spirits, that could be a sign of depression all in itself. Like, food is a powerful drug. Understand that. So when you begin to overindulge in that to compensate for whatever you're not feeling, that's not okay. So, symptom number six is being reckless. Depression can make you want to feel numb from the pain. Some people act out and deal with this in many different ways: drug, alcohol, cutting, all kind of forms of self-mutilation, self-sabotaging. And when you intentionally act in ways that are not productive to your physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual health, you're being reckless, you're self sabotaging. And that becomes okay when you're depressed because you lose sight of what makes you feel good and what is happy. And all you know is that if I cut a monkey here, if I do this there, if I'm upset with this person, if I turn the table over, I'm feeling not better, but I'm not feeling the pain of what's hurting. And a part of healing from depression is healing the pain. But a part of healing the pain is acknowledging that something is bothering you. And so that in itself is a huge first step for a lot of people. All right, you guys. So the seventh sign of depression I want to bring aware to you that we all go through is isolation, and that is more prominent now than ever during this whole corona time when we are quarantined from our family and friends. When your mood is low, you might want to be away from everybody. Everything that you usually enjoy is not cutting it for you. And when we're living in a world where we are alone, we're told to be alone, you have to check in on yourself. Spending days, weeks, months alone with yourself is good if you are being productive in it, but not charging your melanin, not being able to interact with other energy that is healthy for you. It cuts you off from a lot of things that you need. So when you find yourself cutting people off, not wanting to be around people, excessively eating, being aggressive for no apparent reason, your bad days are just bad days and they're lingering, and then you might have a burst of good day or bad day in there. It's okay. You could really be having a depressive episode, and I want to let you know that as always, I'm always here. That's not going to change. You guys know that I'm only an inbox, phone call, text away. You guys can always book a one-on-one with me, and we can go over some symptoms that you might not realize that you're having. If you think, hey, I think I might be having a depressive episode, I want to be alone right now, and I've been eating like crazy. We have a lot of holidays and a lot of foods coming up, and I just been eating. I haven't been getting out the house. I haven't been wanting to do anything. Could I be depressed? That's very much possible. You could be depressed, but I'm here to tell you it's okay. You'll get through it. I got through it, and I know you'll get through it because, baby, I wanted to quit just last night. Last night I was laying in the bed like, I want to quit. But then, I went through the steps with myself. Like, am I feeling this way? Am I acting this way? Okay, let's adjust the mood. Let's burn some sage. Let's get some B12 in us. Let's get some water, some herbal tea. Let's get out in the sun. Let's get active. There's lots of things you can do to combat these symptoms once they begin to present themselves. But the key is knowing that is happening. So, if you have any questions about any other signs and symptoms you could be feeling, drop them in the comment below and we will continue this discussion there. I will talk to you guys later.